Someone said, spill the tea. Like I said, I had a good play experience, so there's no one to slander. Are you allowed to date castmates? Would I recommend it? No. How would you feel on a kissing scene when your parents are watching? Thanks for not bringing it up, Dad. You know. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Tita from Adventures with Tita, and we are back with another video.
Before we go any further, don't forget to like and subscribe, share with your friends so that we can all be part of the family.
Let's get into it. I put out a Q&A on Instagram last week for theatre related questions, since my last video was a theatre vlog. Yeah, when I started doing theatre, which was really at the start of this year, like doing it properly, I looked for videos of people answering questions and I couldn't find any because like I just wanted to know, you know, in advance. So hopefully this will help someone out there, right? So let's get started. In my life in general, like from when I was a child, I would say Shrek. I did Shrek when I was in upper 6, when I was 17, and I was Princess Fiona. And honestly, it doesn't get better than that. I think it was because Shrek is so, like, it's weird. You know, it's silly, it's not that serious, but it's also not cringe, which I really liked. Yeah, so Shrek, Fiona, Princess Fiona. When I was 5, I was when I was 5, I was the Virgin Mary in, you know, the Christmas play. I don't know if that counts as first. I don't know if that counts as a role, but that's the first time I remember acting. But apart from that, like in a proper play, I would say when I was 12, I was Captain Von Trapp in the Sound Play. I think the best part of being in a play is probably the behind the scenes stuff, like the friendships that you make with people, the, you know, sort of inside jokes, and it can't be replicated. Like there's some things that you have to be part of the play for you to appreciate, or jokes that you have to have lived through the whole play experience for them to be funny. I think that's so nice because you meet strangers, you have like this one chunk of memories with them. Some of them you'll never see them again, like after the play is over. But I think it's a nice feeling, just like all the inside jokes, all the background stuff, and yeah. For me, auditions are always scary. It doesn't matter if I know the director. It doesn't matter. Like this year, I think this was my first time auditioning without knowing the director, because obviously in high school it's like your drama teacher, you know. But yeah, auditions depend on what type of play you're doing. So if it's a musical, you probably they might give you lines, like lines in the play, and then you have to read through like that little portion of the script and then act it out. Or you might act it out with a partner. It depends. It really depends on what the directors want. And then obviously you have to sing at some point. They might give you a song to sing. Sometimes you have to prepare, you know, your own song in advance. It really depends. But in terms of the vibes, auditions, for me, like I said, auditions are scary. I'm always very nervous. I always over prepare. If they say prepare a monologue, I prepare two just in case they hate one. I just think most times that I've auditioned, you then get there and realize, oh, it's not that deep. But I'd say take it seriously anyway, because then you'll, you know, like produce your best work. It's very simple. A lot of people have asked me this question since I did the Antony and Cleopatra vlog a few weeks ago. It's very simple, guys. Wherever you live, I live in Harare, right? Figure out what theaters are there in Harare. Follow their social media. When they post posters for auditions, then you just go. And then obviously pick a show that you are comfortable with, that you like, or just like research in advance. If you're not familiar with the show but you still want to be in it, research what it's about. You want to be in things that represent things that you believe in or things that you agree with, and then find out what the audition requirements are and go. Worst case scenario, you don't get into the play, you won't die. Best case scenario, you're in a play. So yeah. I'm gonna try and come up with 3 things. Yeah. If you're a first timer, number 1, you have to be confident. Okay, that feels obvious when I say it that way. But what I mean by be confident is, obviously you have to be confident on stage, right? But if you're going to be joining a play, unlike when you're in high school and then they do a play, it's like everyone there already, so it's comfortable. But like if you're doing a play like in the real world, you have to be confident enough to introduce yourself to people, to meet people, to pitch yourself to people, and just that's how you make friends in the cast as well. I used to be very shy. I won't lie. I used to be so shy. I would sit in the corner of rehearsal and play Sudoku on my phone because I was scared to talk to people. But ultimately, you have to be confident. That's the first thing. The second thing I'd say is don't be too concerned about what role you get. If it's your first time, especially if it's your first time, I think this applies to everyone, but especially if it's your first time, don't be concerned, Kuti. You auditioned for Ariel, they cast you as Flounder. You're stuck saying, I want to be Ariel. It doesn't matter. Take whatever role they give you, make it awesome. Because I've had situations where, like this last play I did, I was, I think, more of a minor character. But there are people who've said, oh, I really liked your character, even though I thought it's not that big of a role. So whatever character you get, just like do 100%. And the thing is as well, people see you from that role. The next time, you're gonna get better. And then the third thing, don't be late. Don't be late. Yeah, I think those are the 3 things. The scariest thing about being in a play, if it's a musical, I think the scariest thing is singing. Let's be for real. Sometimes, it doesn't matter if you're Cynthia Erivo, sometimes you're going to go off key or your voice is going to crack. My voice has cracked on stage so many times. It's so embarrassing. Most people don't even notice, or, they don't care that much about it. But to me, that's the scariest thing. Just like the potential of singing in the wrong key, and then strangers are going to go home thinking, ish, that girl can't sing. Ish, it hurts me. But in any, like, a play in general, I would say the scariest thing is the prospect of forgetting your lines. Obviously, the lines make the play, and you can only freestyle to a certain extent before things get, before things get obvious to the audience that you've forgotten your lines. Do thespians learn all roles like lights and backstage? No. It's a choice. You can. It's a choice. I wouldn't know about people who have actual theater degrees and who major in drama in university, if those people learn everything. But in most cases, like in my situation where it's like volunteer theater, some people volunteer to only do the backstage stuff, the lights, all the cues, the curtains and whatnot. Other people volunteer to only act. Some people alternate between the two. So I think it really depends on your personal interest, because contrary to popular belief, backstage is difficult, in my opinion. Yeah. Oh, well, this is gonna get super cute really quickly. I just think theater is okay. I think, for people who know me personally, my objective is actually to be an author, not a content creator, not an actor, an author, a writer, right? And the reason I like that is because you teach people things through a story, without instead of correcting people directly or giving people advice directly, you tell them a story and then they learn something from that, or they feel something from that, which helps them to understand another person's situation, And I think theater does that, but visually. Similar to movies, but I think with movies there's an emotional detachment because these people are in a screen. But theater is it's happening right in front of you. It's live. It feels more real. Or if you ignore the curtains and the people carrying the props in and out, it feels more real. It's kind of like immersive storytelling, and I like that. Also, it's just fun. I don't know if that's a good enough answer. It's fun. Yes. I actually did it during Antony and Cleopatra. Nothing happened, but I wouldn't recommend it. For those people who don't know, it's a taboo to say Macbeth in a theater because some juju voodoo and Macbeth's ghost and all that fun stuff. But yes, I did say during Antony and Cleopatra mid performance. I don't know if anyone got jinxed, in the process. I was fine. I intentionally did that just to see what would happen, but yeah, all I got were a few gasps from the people around me, but otherwise I'd say it was okay. Right. Yes. Once, long ago, I think I've not that I've grown out of it. I feel like that sounds pompous. I learned to not have stage fright, if that makes sense. I'm sure some people act and they still have stage fright, but I mean, I used to do public speaking in high school. I used to do debate. I did plays. I've always done things that require me to be in front of people. So no, I don't have stage fright. Not anymore. I've never fallen on stage, but I'd like to imagine I would stand up. I'd like to imagine I would stand up and carry on like nothing happened. One of two things, actually. I could play it into the character, depending on who the character is and what's going on, or I would just have to get up and keep running. Would I be embarrassed, completely humiliated inside? Definitely. Is there anything we can do about it, though? Not really, Ish. I don't know if I count as an actor. I think I still count under aspiring actor. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to poison you. Don't give up. Yes. Ooh, sunlight. Don't give up. Yeah. I've answered this question before, but believe it or not, we've done it. We've done it. Mom, if you're watching this video, you're a star. Yeah, my parents, I have kissed someone on stage in front of my parents during High School Musical. They never said anything about it though. They never asked me any questions. So I also didn't bring it up. I don't intend on bringing it up. And, well, my father doesn't watch my YouTube videos, so he'll never see this, but thanks for not bringing it up, Dad, and Mom. Yeah. It feels kind of awkward though. Like, I usually, the few times that it's happened once, twice, a few times. I don't know. I feel very awkward. It just feels weird. I don't know, because I'm like, why are my parents witnessing this? But they don't make it weird, so I guess that makes it better. As far as I've experienced, no. I do think there's always the potential for a double standard. Like in the plays that I've been in, I've never experienced any like sexism or any situation where I'm like, that's not fair. How come he gets to? Nah. Yeah, and I don't think. Oh, the thing is, I don't know how guys feel. So maybe the other way, but I don't think so. Yeah, it really depends on who you're working with. Like I said, in any work environment, there are going to be sexist people, but I haven't worked with any. We were all treated the same. Yay. That's a tough question. My mind immediately goes to Renee Elise. I want to say her surname is Goldsberry, Gold something. Renee Elise Gold something. I'll put her picture right here. She was in Hamilton. She was in Rent, and I love both of those musicals. Her range is amazing, and I mean she's black like me, so that's awesome. Well, I act passively on the side. I don't know how exactly I was supposed to answer the when part of this question, but I'm assuming you mean like when in life, like how frequently and stuff. I used to do it in high school. I've just started doing it, in the real world, I guess, which I think makes me an actress. I don't know. We'll reevaluate. Am I an actress? I think so. Yeah. But yeah, and the why, like I said, it's fun. I like the whole storytelling vibe. I also like the community around it. Like I said, you have all these inside jokes, and like it just makes for good memories. It's one of those like experiences that I would encourage anyone to try, even if they're not interested in it as a career. Just try acting in a play, just like at a community theater, or if you're in high school, do it at school. If you're in uni, just do it in uni, just like a small role, just for the feeling. It's really nice. This is a tough question. I feel like I would need to think about it for several days for me to have a reasonable response, right? These days, they make musicals out of everything. I recently discovered there's a musical for Titanic, and there's a musical for The Great Gatsby as well, which obviously tells me that, once again, anything can be a musical. Like I said, there's Shrek the musical, which has a bunch of songs which are not in the, Legally Blonde, Mean Girls, Heathers, Beetlejuice. But then because of that, it makes it feel like all the good movies have already been turned into musicals. There's even a Spider-Man musical, so what's left? I don't really know. Okay, I have one. I watched this movie yesterday for the first time. I really enjoyed it. I think Serial Mom. There's a movie called Serial Mom. I don't know what year it's from. It's definitely a 20th century movie. Yeah. It's maybe 90s or 80s. It's so good. It's got Ricky Lake in it, and yeah, it's about like a mom who's a suburban mom who's a serial killer, and it's kind of goofy. If you haven't watched Serial Mom, which I know you haven't, go and watch it. It's fun. Yeah. The thing is, with plays, typically, I think in a good play setting, if you're in a working environment, they usually try to make it so that the actors are as comfortable as possible. So sometimes, if you're uncomfortable with something, if you bring it up to your director, chances are the director might try to, work something out so that it's more comfortable for you, since you're the actor, like you're the one who's having to endure this for however many shows you guys are going to do. So in most cases, I think if I ever felt any discomfort, things were sort of rectified, and then I was then comfortable with it. But I'd say when I did Shrek, I had to tap dance. I don't think I'm a good dancer. I will never say I'm a dancer on any level, but particularly tap dancing is like, a unique type of dance that you actually have to learn. So I learned tap dancing for the role specifically, but I felt like I wasn't doing a good job. But because I was the one singing the song, obviously like a lot of attention was on me. I felt kind of uncomfortable with that. It was fun. It ended up being fun. Times you've done things. This is such a scandalous question, by the way. Right, okay, in Shrek as well. I wasn't uncomfortable with it as such. And like, oh my gosh, Terry, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. But like, when I did Shrek, right, you know how Princess Fiona and Shrek have to fall in love, right? But Shrek was being played by one of my friends, and that felt so weird. That felt so weird to me, because just imagine you have like this kind of sibling relationship with someone in real life, and then in this show, you're being made to like flirt with them, and they're talking to you, and you're all Shrek, It wasn't like uncomfortable in like a way, but it was just like, ew, like, why am I flirting with you? That's weird, Once again, Terry, if you're watching, I'm so sorry. You were great. I get this question so much, and the answer is like, I guess, hear me out. Directors and people in charge of plays, what they control is what you do in the play, right? They control where you stand on stage, what lines you sing, and how you say them. They don't control your life, If you're dating a cast member, that's now your real life. It's none of their business. I don't know how it works if you're like on Broadway and stuff, but based on what I've heard about even like famous people on Broadway, it's none of the play people's business. If you guys want to date, you date. You want to do the fandango, you guys do the fandango on the side, as long as you do your jobs correctly. Would I recommend it? No. Because what happens if you guys break up in real life? I would say wait until the play is over and then work things out. But at the same time, to each their own, Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, I think that's the... Oh, okay. Time for the bonus question. Bonus question. Someone said, spill the tea. Now, I'm not sure what you meant about spill the tea, but like I said, I had a good play experience, so there's no one to slander. There's no one to slander. If there was, I still wouldn't do it. Okay, instead of spilling the tea, I can give you my unpopular theater opinion. right? Unpopular opinion. Do I have an unpopular opinion? I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or if other people agree with this, but I think is that it's unnecessary for female characters to have songs in very high keys all the time. I'm talking about the Disney princess, high D, soprano. I understand the appeal. I think it's unnecessary. I think it's unfair to actresses. Yes. Unpopular opinion number 2, actually, before we leave. Unpopular opinion number 2. Being a good singer is different from being able to sing high notes. People who are in theater know that. People who watch plays don't know that. Singing high notes isn't the only way to be a good singer. Yeah. That's it. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. This was my Q&A. I hope you had a good time. If you have any more theater questions, please ask in the comments. I'll be glad to answer. If you have any, of your own unpopular opinions about theater, feel free to tell me. If you want to tell me about your favorite musical, tell me anything. Talk to me in the comments. Thank you so much for 100 subscribers. It has been a long time. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, watch my other videos, let's be friends, etc, and I'll catch you guys another time. Unpopular opinion number 3. People who are not subscribed to my channel, they're losers. I'm joking.